Good afternoon, class. Today I am going to present a little bit about copyright laws and what is copyright? What do you want to know? What to know about it, when to use it, and what to know about what you use and you share online, as well as how you are protected. So the title of this is Copyright or Wrong. So kind of playing on the word right there. Is it right or wrong to be using something that is copyrighted? And you'll find more information about that throughout this presentation. First off, something simple. What is copyright? Say you read a story, a research paper for your class, or even an original poem, you automatically own the copyright to that. It can even be something original that you've drawn, and no one has the right to copy it. It doesn't have to be written, it could be a drawing. So copyright is a form of protection given to the authors or creators of original works of authorship. So that can include literary, something you've written, dramatic, musical, artistic, or any other intellectual works. Excuse me. What that means is that as the creator of whatever piece of work it is, you are the only one that has the right to do any of the following, or let anyone else do any of the following. Make copies of your own work, distribute copies of your own work, perform your own work publicly, such as plays or films, dances or music, display your work publicly, like for an art exhibition, or stills for audiovisual works, or any other material used on the internet or television. You are the only one who has that right. The creator is the only one who has the right to use it at will. It also gives you protection of your original work. So if someone wants to do anything with your work, they need permission. There is one loophole with this, and that is the concept of fair use, which we'll get to in just a minute. So if you look here, the purpose of copyright, there are three main reasons that there is a purpose of whatever the purpose may be of copyright. And those three major reasons are if the creator knows that what they create will be protected and known as theirs forever, then it may give those creators an incentive to create more to share with others. So it gives someone an incentive to want to create more. Another purpose for copywriting material is to acknowledge that there is a bond or emotional connection between the piece of work created and the creator who took the time to create it. So when you're working on a piece, you have a connection to whatever you've created. You make that connection, and it's highlighting that creator's connection to what they've made. Just like when you take the time to do something. So that's why the third purpose is to protect the rights of the person who created the material and give them a say on what happens with the material they created or how others are allowed to use it. So going back to that term, fair use guidelines, the fair use doctrine. So a formal set of guidelines allows limited copying of copyrighted works for educational and research purposes. So if a teacher wants to reproduce a piece of work to use for classroom use, that is under the fair use umbrella and is okay. Also using it, you might be writing a review, criticizing a piece, news reporting, scholarship, or other research is not technically infringing and our infringement on copyright. And that brings us to infringing. What is infringing? Infringing copyright guidelines means you're breaking the guidelines or rules of what copyright is. If you take something someone has made and you exploit it or use it fully and benefit from using it without permission from the creator or owner of the piece, that is copyright infringement. So if you make money off someone else's work, you could be taken to court and you have to pay many fines if you're found guilty. The person who infringed on the copyright will also be made to stop using whatever it is they are infringing on. So this could be with music, copying a video game to share online, a movie or video, using someone's book or words to your benefit, and more. All go under infringing. So why should I care about copyright? You might say to yourself, why do I need to care about this? Well, have you ever worked so hard writing a story that you were so proud of? How about being proud of the art design you just doodled right there on your notebook? Or maybe the poem you wrote in the school newspaper? You might have written a song for your girlfriend that took hours to finish. Well, all this work is protected under the copyright laws and stops others from being able to copy what you've done and stops them from being able to use it as their own work. So as the creator of the work, you should have the right to control what people can and cannot do with your work. So the right to be able to control your work has made it so people can create and make great things. Think of everything that's been just everything around you. It's just astounding. The United States is one of the biggest places where movies, books, TV shows, plays, and more are created. So by having copyright laws, it's really supported and protected the rights of those creative people who have created these things. We want to respect and honor the hard work that they have put into this creating. And by copying it and using it as our own, we're really disregarding their hard work and disrespecting them. And we wouldn't want that done if we were in their shoes, would we? So let's take a look here at this web. What is exactly protected by copyright? And I kind of went over that a little bit at the beginning slide when I talked about what copyright is. But if you look at this web here, found from copyrightkit.org, which is a great resource for you to check out. It has a list of all the things that are protected from copyright. So some of these things they included are, you might want to really think about this when you're using these or looking at these and want to use it in a project. Some of these things might be literary works, which also includes computer software, musical works, including accompanying words that go with the music, dramatic works, any accompanying music that goes with that as well. I know this might not be particularly of interest, but pantomimes, but also choreographic works, dance moves, dances, pictorial, graphic, and sculptural works, as well as motion pictures, other audiovisual pieces, sound recordings, architectural works. Those are all things to think about that are protected by copyright. So when do you need permission? When do you need permission? Well, to be safe, don't rely on that doctrine of fair use for everything. Make sure to give credit to any creator whenever or whatever you use and whenever you use it, even if you believe that you're using it under the fair use guidelines. You must give credit where credit is due. When in doubt, and if you wish to use more than a small amount of someone's work for educational purposes, then get permission to use something. When in doubt, get permission. These copyright images, as you can see, these copyright cartoons here, they both have a mark of some sort on them. If you look right here, copyright right here. Here there's a cartoonstock.com. There's an actual kind of watermark right above that. A lot of times when a photographer takes a picture, they put their watermark logo on there so you aren't able to use that photo without buying it or without using their permission. So if you look, the top one has it typed in the top corner here. Not all images are copyrighted material or copyrighted material will say so. So these do, and you'll find this a lot when you're searching on images. But you need to know that just because something doesn't say it, it doesn't mean it's not protected, and you still must use proper judgment on how to safely use them properly. So if you look here, these just happen to be copyright cartoons. These blog creatures here, I'd sue them for all the trademark infringement if I were you, blog, obviously referring to the term blogs that you find on the internet. And the one on the right here is test today. They're taking a test. Quit trying to steal my intellectual property. That is your work. Whatever you create, that is yours. And you want that protected. You want that protected. Now, there is a little difference between copyright and trademark, and that's something that gets confused quite often. So copyright protects literary and artistic works, whereas trademark really protects a company's sense of identity, like their logo. So really thinking about that logo. And we'll go in, I'll give you a couple examples of trademark to give you an idea. So trademark infringement, as you can see here, like I mentioned, trademark protects someone's sense of identity, like their logo. So these logos were infringed upon, and the company legally went after the infringing party. So Apple company seems to be particularly picky about someone using their Apple logo. This logo doesn't even look like Apple computers or Apple company logo. It's actually a coffee shop in Europe, but they still went after them. So be careful about that. This right here is obviously a knockoff of Nike, the company in Asia. And this here is a high school, Lake Mary High School, infringing upon the Dodge Ram logo, their trademark. Look right here, copyright infringement. This is a great example of taking this person's photograph. So someone took this photograph and created a sculpture with this photograph and was taken to court and found guilty of copyright infringement. Here's the loophole, which is something to consider, is that this artist took the photo on the left and created something different. And actually, when they were brought to court for copyright infringement, they were found innocent because they transformed the photo into something different. You can see they did something to the face, they added a guitar, but be careful because in some ways copyright infringement does vary on a case-by-case basis, so you really have to just err on the side of caution. Just use your own work or get permission if you're using others. So how do you protect your stuff? Well, you really don't need to do anything. Once you create something and have authorship, your work is protected. It is copyright protected. There is copyright expiration of 70 years. So after 70 years, anyone is free to use your stuff. Copyright does vary from country to country, so if you ever have any questions as to how your work is protected, take a look at some of the following resources that I have at the back of the slide. It will give you some great information. One of them, as I mentioned earlier, copyrightkids.org is a great website for you to check out. And Copyright Facts for Kids kind of goes over some great information, kids.kiddle.co. You can check out those as well. Some great resources. So I hope you now have a great idea, a stronger concept of what copyright laws are, and I hope that it will guide you in your project, in your assignment. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.